So I want to talk about pleasure. And I want to leave you with something to think about seriously. Pleasure does not actually exist. Now I want to say that again because you heard me right. Pleasure is something that actually does not exist. It's something that we as a modern society have made up. Of course, you know, there's pleasures throughout the history of the world. There's pleasure, the word pleasure in the Bible. But I want you to stop and think about what I'm going to say next. How can you be receiving 1 pound of pleasure if it cost you 3 pounds of pain to obtain it? Now that's what this video is about. How can you say you are receiving pleasure in your life if it took you 3 pounds of pain to get it? Let me give you a quick example. You may go down and buy a car out of necessity, but you're really buying a car because of, you know, today's cars, because they look good, they feel good to drive, they get you from point A to point B really fast. So you go down and buy a $30,000 car. It's going to take 3,000 hours of you punching in at your job. So let me tell you about this. How many of you bought a new car on a 7-year loan? You took 7-year loan. Sorry about the background noise. I'm just making a video out here by the river. How many of you take out a 7-year loan, and before your car's paid off, you got to start putting hundreds of dollars or thousands of dollars into that car? See, I'm telling you, pleasure does not actually exist. If you have to work 100 hours for something, well, put it this way. Every time you go out to eat, you and your spouse, and maybe 1 or 2 of your kids, there's $50, $40, $30 minimum in today's society. So 1 hour, this is the perfect example I'm trying to tell you. 1 hour of sitting in a restaurant and eating, 1 hour of that pleasure, now you have to go back to work, punch a time clock for 3 hours, 4 hours, or 5 hours to obtain that 1 hour of pleasure in a, you know, maybe it's not even that pleasurable. Maybe it's just a loud, noisy restaurant with crappy food, which like 80 million Americans are doing right now at lunchtime and dinner time today, going out to restaurants this week. That's what I'm telling you. 1 hour of pleasure for 3 hours of pain. 1 hour of, 1 pound of pleasure for 3 pounds of pain. And so what is the purpose of telling you this? Well, I don't really have a purpose, just to show you why you're never happy. One of the main reasons you're never happy, because I guarantee right now today you have something in your mind that you want to obtain or achieve, or you're trying to force it into your life. But you see, every pleasure, let me tell you this other thing. Every pleasure must first be obtained by pain. Every single pleasure, except for the free ones, like sitting by the river here. Your child smiling. Your wife saying, I love you, giving you a kiss. Instead of driving, walking. Every time you want to drive, you got to punch a time clock. Every time you want to go out and eat fancy foods, you got to punch a time clock. Now, you can go out and just... I had a friend tell me recently that they're eating really simple all the time now. Just rice and beans, like cheese, like maybe some onion and tomatoes and some tortillas. They're just eating really simple all the time now. Now, with that example, what they have done is they're still receiving tons of pleasure eating every day, 3 or 4 times a day, but they've reduced the level of their pain that it takes to obtain that food. And the same friend of mine just made a video about riding his bike on a trail. I mean, think about a bicycle. You know, you go out, let's say you're going to buy a nice $500 mountain bike or whatever. So you got to go down and punch in 50 hours, which is, you know, a little over 1 week at a job. But that bicycle will give you 10 years of enjoyment. Now let's get a little crazy. I mean, you go down and eat a donut. Is a donut really that much more pleasurable than an apple? You know, is a donut more pleasurable than an apple? Because, you know, no one can eat just one donut. So an apple costs about 80 or 90 cents. And it's just a real simple apple. So you go down and eat 3 donuts for $3, $4, $5. You see what I mean? So I'll end the video by saying, I don't think pleasure exists. Can you really say that you're receiving pleasure? Can you really say you're receiving a pound of pleasure in your life if it took you 3, 4, or 5 pounds of pain to obtain that 1 pound of pleasure? Think about what I'm saying. Can you really say that you're receiving a pound of pleasure? I mean, real genuine pleasure, happiness, real pleasure, real joy. You know what, one of the things that gives me the most pleasure of anything on earth is reading my Bible. 100% free. I read the Bible, the Holy Spirit fills me up, Jesus fills me up, God fills me up. 100% free. Bought an old $10 Bible 30 years ago, still have it. So that's the question, and the reason I made this video is because those of you who know me, you know I make videos about simplicity, how to live simply. That's why I turned off the comments on my videos, because I just wanted to keep them simple. Watch the video and then go about your day. Don't start commenting and getting into arguments with everybody on the, you know, YouTube spear. The YouTube spitting spear. Where everybody spits out stuff that does. And so anyways, you agree, you understand. The YouTube spitting spear. So I make videos on simplicity. That's what all my books are about, simplicity. So the question I'm asking you, I mean, simplicity is why I made this video. But the question I want you to ask yourself, go through every single area of your life and ask yourself today, well, it's going to take you a month, 30 days actually, to go through every area. Out of all the pleasures I have in my life, how much pain is attached to that? Like even a car, you know, costs $1,000 a year just to keep the car on the road. That does not even include gas, insurance, tires, oil changes. So you have to ask yourself, am I willing to spend 3 hours of pain on this one pleasure I'm receiving? So that's what I said. You can reverse that in every single area of your life. So for example, how much would you enjoy your house if it was paid off? So why are you making payments on a $300,000 house when you probably have $60,000 or $70,000 equity in that house? So you can sell your house and go buy a $50,000 or $60,000 tiny house, and you can live in that tiny house completely paid off, and there's no more pain attached to it. It's now all pleasure. Kind of like my bicycle, or my friend riding his bicycle on that trail. You get a $500, now my bicycle costs, you know, $150, $200. So I had to literally work only 20 hours for that bicycle of mine. Only 1/2 a week. And it's already brought me over 52 weeks of pleasure. So you see how you reverse it? Because the real things in life, the real pleasures in life, one thing you'll notice they all have in common. They cost almost nothing. And they're almost all free. So I'll leave you with a thought. Like me, I look at Craigslist. You guys look at Craigslist. Everybody looks at Craigslist. You just type in your town, items for sale, and then you type in that was funny. So then you type into Craigslist free items, free. Do you know how many free things people are giving away in your town right now today? Free wood in their backyard that you could resell. I just saw here on the coast someone was giving away 2 free 50-year-old pianos. Well, I know someone who went and picked them up and sold them for $300 each over in the big city. That's an example of what I'm saying. You'd actually never have to buy anything again except clothing that fits you and food. Think about it. All right, enjoy the view and have a great day. £3 of pain for 1 pound of pleasure. If you really take that seriously, this video should have just changed the course of the rest of your life. But you must do the work. God bless you.